Jen Beauty. My name is Jennifer, and here on my channel, I like to chat about all things beauty and makeup. And today I have a full-ish face of Flower Beauty. There were a few things that I could not get, like a powdered bronzer, because it is out of stock, like, all the time. It did come back in stock for like a day, and I put it in my cart, and then I got distracted, as I generally do. And when I came back, it was out of stock. So it's fine. Anything that I don't have from the brand, I'll make sure is like a drugstore, with two exceptions. One is the eye primer, and then the setting powder that I use for the eye primer, simply because I have a routine that I know works really well, and I would like to know how the eyeshadows actually like wear. You will notice that I am having like a terrible time with acne right now. It's very annoying. So I did go ahead and put down just a little bit of the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Putty Primer, just in this area and this area. I don't find it actually like clears up anything, but I do find that it helps quite a bit to kind of like give me a little barrier between my face and makeup, so that the pores don't get clogged like even more. So for eyeshadow primer, I'm going to use the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. I actually forgot I had this. I've been using my Sigma eye primer, just because I've made like really good progress on it. So this is drugstore priced. I do really like this one. I always have to set it down with like a setting powder, and I don't have like a tried and true drugstore setting powder, because I like to use a pressed powder for my eyeballs. Flower Beauty has been around for, I think, a little longer than I realized. I don't know if I was just like under a rock. It's possible, because I went through like some things at one point, and so it's very possible that I just totally missed that Flower Beauty was like a new brand. But I started being interested in trying it, and the first thing that I tried from the brand were their Flower Pots blushes, and I do really like those. I find they're pretty comparable to the Milani blushes, which I also really like. The similar like ones that look like a rose, and not the baked formula, the powder blush. So I'm just using my Tarte Shape Tape pressed powder. I have the shade 10N Fair Neutral. I just find that this is a little bit more mattifying and helps control the oils on my eyelids a little bit better. So that's what I usually use. So I'm gonna go in the order that I usually try to go. So now that I primed my eyes, I'm gonna prime my face. I did manage to snag the new Skin Smoothie Hydro Pop Primer. It says it's a lightweight gel texture, cooling and moisturizing. Our weightless primer hydrates skin with a cooling blend of aloe and cucumber extract, which sounds lovely. The water-based gel formula helps grip makeup with a natural looking finish. So we will see. This kept going out of stock as well, and I was on Ulta's website at like 12 or 1 o'clock, like super late, early in the morning, whichever way you view it, on a Saturday. So Saturday going into Sunday. And they had like a bunch of new stuff. And they also, they also had a sale on Flower Beauty. So I had a couple of things in my cart to like get for this specifically, but I was kind of waiting to see if I could get this and the powder bronzer before I did it. So this is what it looks like. It really does look like a gel. I just sprayed perfume, so I don't think it has the scent. No, it like, I know some complaints with Flower Beauty face products is that they're very heavily fragranced. I don't I don't smell anything. It feels nice. All right, so we're gonna let that set in while I do my eyeshadow. So I have the Petal Play Shadow Quad in Black Iris. These do not get the best of reviews, but we'll see. It looks cute. Cute enough. I'm gonna go in with this shade first, because why not? Oh man, I forgot to bring in, I always do this. Hold on, I can't do this without it. I'll be right back. I washed brushes last night and totally forgot to grab my Sigma switch. And then I also have this like silicone, it's like for the kitchen, you know, like a hot pad. But I find that any makeup that gets on it like washes off so easily. So I typically just tap off my brushes onto there so that I'm not getting it all over my vanity. So even though I tapped it off, it has decent pigment. There is a lot of kick up in the pan. I don't mind kick up because, I don't know, I've always tapped off my eyeshadows. The only time I don't is when I'm trying to go for like something super pigmented, like really trying to build a shadow up with like a tapping motion. In those cases, I typically won't tap off unless I just like really dug into the shadow. Because, you know, some brushes are just a lot more firm and like really dig in the shadow. And then you end up with like way too much on there. So I don't find that this is like an incredibly impressive shade, but I mean, it's fine. I'm not going to make any judgments yet. I'm going to see if I can use this shade in the crease. You know what? Let's just, the whole lid. Because apparently that's the way it was going. That was me, not the shadow. Instead of going into the pan like this, I went in like this. So I had a lot of shadow on this part of the brush. So it went like all over the lid instead of just in the crease. So that was my own fault for not angling it correctly. These shimmer shades are pretty, but they're very much like a satin. Actually, let me go ahead and swatch these out. I had to build this up a little bit, but that's the first shade. All right, so that's what we're working with here. You have this one, then this one. From this side to this side. So I wouldn't say that they're like super impressive, but they're not bad. I think this is maybe like a good, you know, like I just need something quick before work. I'm going to try to use that purpley satin shade, this one, in the outer corner. Just kind of build it up a little bit. Give a little bit of dimension. So see, in this case, I'm not tapping it off and I'm just kind of tapping on the outer corner because I want just a little bit more oomph there. And this is a very much like trust the process type thing where I'll go in and clean up because I'm using a much bigger brush than I usually do for the outer corner. Mostly because I'm lazy. It was already out and I didn't feel like getting another one. She's fine. I did get a Chrome Crush pressed pigment in the shade Quartz. So it comes in a little tiny jar and it comes with one of those stoppers. You definitely want to keep those and make sure you put the stopper in and then put the cap on. I found that with anything with a stopper, don't try to store the cap, the like stopper in the cap and then just like, you know, put it on. You want to make sure you really get the stopper in there correctly. So this one, and it's very soft. It's kind of like a little bit softer than what a ColourPop Super Shock feels like. I don't know if that's a, you know, hold on. Let me stop making this difficult for myself. So that's what it looks like. And I think it may look a little bit better on a glitter primer. So I'm going to put down a glitter glue that I apparently put away in the wrong place. And then tap it on. Let's see what happens. So the primer, the eyeshadow quad, and this chrome pigment, they're all new to me. They are not items that I owned before this or have ever used before. That's pretty. I think for my personal preference, I prefer like a little bit more like oomph to it. But I think it's very like subtly pretty. I'm gonna do the other eye and clean up with some like Q-tips, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I just finished this eye. I did go in with a tiny bit of this shade on a brush to transition between the outer corner and the pretty Chrome Crush pigment. So they don't have a color corrector to my knowledge, but I do use a little bit of color corrector around my eyes. My favorite is the Sigma, but I do have this NYX color correcting concealer palette, and I enjoy this. I really liked, I didn't know what I needed as far as color correction went. Like, you don't have to color correct at all, but there were some areas like the inner cavern of my eye and the outer corner where I get a lot of discoloration. I really wanted to color correct those because concealer just doesn't do the trick. Like, I have a lot of discoloration in that area. I've had discoloration in this area since I was a child. I don't know if it's just genetic or the way I was built or what. So oftentimes I don't bother with it. But some days I just find that I definitely need a little something. So I haven't decluttered this because for a while it was my only color corrector. I do like that there's a green in here, and in this segment it's just a duo with like these two type shades, a lighter peach and then a darker like peachy orange, which cover up the like purple and darkness really well. I don't use the purple at all. I don't use this brown at all, and I don't ever use the yellow. So I mostly just use these three shades. I think if this ever goes off, I'm fine getting rid of it, and I don't think I would need to buy another one. But maybe just like a single green color corrector. And if I ever decide to pan this, I would not pan these three shades. I'd only pan these three. For foundation, I have the Light Illusion foundation. I have the shade Shell. It looks like it says Shello, like Shello, but that might be L0. I have no idea. It's the lightest shade that they make. So I've used this quite a bit as a mixer. It does have an SPF in it of 18, which, like, for me, that's like, why bother? And also Ulta sent me an expired one. So the sunscreen in this, the whole 18 SPF is probably like no good. If you're able to get one in store, I think you might have better luck, or maybe straight from Ulta Beauty if they ever open their website back up. I see so many people love their stuff, so I hope that they're doing well. I do love a lot from the brand. I do think that they have some room for improvement in their eyeshadows. Even for a drugstore brand, it's kind of meh. Which I had heard that, and so I was kind of contemplating if I wanted to buy a quad. And I ultimately decided that if I just absolutely hated it and found no use for it, that, you know, there's definitely someone I can pass it along to. And it would be worth it to try it out, because just because other people don't like it doesn't mean I won't. I definitely don't think this would be a go-to quad for me on like a regular basis, but I don't know. It's not terrible. It might be something I would like keep at my desk for just throwing on a quick shadow. Probably not though. So this is a pretty foundation, but I have found that if my skin is the slightest bit dry, it does emphasize that. So I was hoping by getting the Skin Smoothie primer that would kind of like cancel that out a little bit. I don't think it did. So in person, it's not too bad. I would say this is better than what my foundation looked like with just the Urban Decay All Nighter primer. So I definitely think that for me, I need a hydrating primer. I think I will like this foundation much better in the summertime. So I'm definitely going to hold on to it and see how I feel. If nothing else, it is a beautiful mixer for foundations that are a little too dark for me or a little too orangey. Next, I'm going to go in with the Light Illusion Concealer. So this one I have not used yet. When we get into the cheap products, we'll have a lot more stuff that I've used before. All right, so I've heard mixed reviews on this, but I am trying not to have any preconceived notions. It says it's a full coverage concealer, so I imagine that's why some people don't like it very much. I have mine in the shade, what are you, friend? Porcelain L0. Okay, so it is L0 on shell, not shallow, it's L0. I'm gonna put a tiny dot on the outside of each eye, and I'm going to try a brush. So I've really been liking a brush with my concealer lately. I forgot to turn on my other light for filming. So if it looks a little bit brighter, that's why. So far, I don't think it's a terrible under eye formula. I'm going to just sweep on a little bit of the Tarte powder. They do have a powder that got pretty good reviews, but one of the powders, I know the biggest complaint is the packaging is very bulky. I chose not to purchase the powder because I'm not a huge, like, I don't set down my entire face, at least not in the winter. And it just felt wasteful to purchase a powder just for the video. I tried to be conscious of things that I could pass along, things that I would actually use, and not just purchase things like just for the sake of a video that I was never going to use again. There are things that I was genuinely curious to try from the brand. I'm going to do my eyebrows super quick. I'm just going to use the e.l.f. Wow Brow. Again, this is something that they had a brow product, but I just didn't, I have enough brow products and it's not something that I wanted to test out. I didn't want to be frivolously wasteful. Yeah, I am in makeup rehab, so I tried to make more conscious consumer. I tried to be a more conscious consumer and make better choices overall. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. So my preference is really for a pencil and then to top that with a brow gel. You know, like a tinted brow mascara or something. But this is fine. I just need a little bit of definition. I'm not going like super duper full crazy glam, so some naturally enhanced brows are fine. So I'm going to go in with the Low Light Liquid Contour and then the Spotlight Liquid Highlighter. So the contour I've used once. I don't know if there's any still in, no, okay. So you turn it on. It's one of these gross, disgusting sponge tip applicators. And then you squeeze some out into the tip. That's what she said. In theory. Oh, there it is. And then you just kind of like dab it on and blend it out. So I'm actually going to use this a little bit more like a bronzer than a contour, like a bronzer. I do find it's actually it's very subtle and very beautiful. I don't find that it's too overly orange or it's not too gray for me where it makes me look like I'm kind of dead. I mean, I was afraid that it would be like way too pigmented or way too orange, but so far my experience has been that it's not bad. She's not bad. So I have the Flower Bomb. I have a couple of them. I have this one is Cheeky. This one is Nectar. And then I also have Melon. So I'll swatch these out real quick for you in case you haven't seen swatches and you're interested. I don't have all of them. There's one more that I want. I need an intervention with cream products. All right, so before I blend them out, there's Cheeky, Nectar, and Melon. So Cheeky, Nectar, Melon, kind of blended out. I think for today, I want to use Cheeky. Because why not? I'm very excited for the summer to use Melon though, I'm not gonna lie. I do always keep like micellar water and a reusable makeup wipe on my vanity so that I can wipe off swatches, or if I want to do something like a liquid blush and I don't want to like put it directly on my face, because I typically don't, I'll put a little bit on my hand and then I will dab it on and then blend it out. I like that this blush does set down, but it doesn't set down too fast. Like I don't find that it gets really dry really fast. But it doesn't stay like dewy, sticky where you're like, you know, afraid to be in the wind or your hair is gonna stick to your face. I can't stand that. Just personal preference. And then I have the Spotlight. I have never used this one before. I don't think I've even swatched it. Oh no, I have. I just didn't take the tape all the way off. So this is what it looks like dabbed on, and that's what it looks like kind of sheared out. Here goes nothing. So with liquid or cream highlights, I like to just use like 2-3 fingers to kind of dab around and like work the product in, since I have so much texture on my face. I don't use a cream or liquid highlight a ton, so I don't have many of them. You can work it in with a sponge, you know, a makeup sponge. I do like to go over my cream products with, you know, just a little bit of a makeup sponge. Just kind of like blend out the edges a little. And typically my routine is to then go in with some powder products. Hi, Misty. What? You went out? So I'm going to use the Flower Pots blush in this shade Sweet Pea. I also have the shade Wild Rose. My only complaint, honestly, with these is that the packaging that they come in is like super stuck to these things. And I cannot get all of the sticky stuff off without ruining like the sticker that tells you, you know, what it is. And so they end up sticking together in my drawer or sticking to other blushes in my drawer. First world problems. We're not gonna. So I'm just gonna use a big fluffy brush. And I like to go in with a powder kind of lightly, just to kind of like set it down. You can use a face powder, but I like using a powder blush. 1, because I have a crap ton of them. And 2, I just find it makes the pigment last a little bit longer. Okay, I did buy the Stellar Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Solstice. Some people, I think I've seen like 2 people say that they like this, and everyone else is like, this thing is trash. So as you can see, I have swatched it, and it just looks like straight glitter to me. Which, you know, in the beaming sun or the, you know, lights of a vanity, it's going to be like, dang, girl. But in person, it's going to be like, wow, did you like run through a, you know, like stream of glitter on the way here? So I'm just going to use a small fluffy brush to see what I can do. Like there's glitter falling all over the place. What I am going to use this for, I don't know. I definitely hope that they come out with a better highlighter than this, because it's not really my jam. I wonder how it would look like on the eyes. Like, does it amp up the eye look a little? Because that could be a good use for it. So this is with the highlighter and this is without. You know, I'm probably going to end up using it as an eyeshadow topper. Not even going to lie. I don't hate it for that. Like, that's, dang, girl. I did not purchase a setting spray or an eyeliner. The eyeliner, they didn't have very many shades. They had like your basics, and I have so many basic shades that it felt wasteful to purchase one. I'm just going to use this NYX, what are you? Epic Wear Liner in Deepest Brown. Like, I'm pretty happy with my eyeliner, so I can't say that I was like dying to try another drugstore eyeliner. if we're being completely honest. If they have like unique colors, I'm down. Like, I really love a good cranberry, and I don't think I have a drugstore cranberry anymore. Like that really deep, rich burgundy. I have glitter all over my hands. I don't even know if you can see it, but it is seriously like all over. And that's from the highlighter. It's all over my vanity. All right, so I went in about halfway with the eyeliner, and then I'm gonna take that same brown transition shade that I used and just kind of like smoke it out a little bit on the lower lash line. I do feel like the outer corner has faded a little bit already. That could be because of me like futzing with the shimmers and stuff. I'm just gonna build it up just a little bit more. I don't have time to do like a full wear test because it's kind of later in the evening already, but I do have to come back up here in a little bit and film a few more videos. So I will give like a final, like, this is how it wore for the few hours that I wore it. All right, I have 2 more products for us to try. I have the Dream Warrior volumizing mascara in black. Y'all, these studies crack me up. 94% saw lifted lashes immediately following application based on a study of 35 subjects. So 94% of 35 subjects. These crack me up. So this says, now lashes go dreamy with our cloud-like fluffy formula infused with Cloud Boost technology to uplift your lashes. Our exclusive lash lift brush features bio-based bristles that grip and lift every lash. Weightless, airy volume meets extreme lift and curl. It's a lash dream come true. Why do mascaras have to make it seem like it's going to change your life? Like it's going to be the one to change how you look and feel, and it's probably going to cure a disease or something, or help you cure a disease because you feel so confident. Okay, she's actually really cute. My lighting is crap, but it's not clumpy. It went on really easy. I'm able to build it up some in the outer corner like I like to. Where are my bottom lashes on this eye? Like, have I lost them all? So this eye waters a lot, so it's possible I've lost quite a bit of lashes there from like, you know, getting a tissue and like dabbing it or rubbing my eye subconsciously. Okay, so packaging, she's cute. It's you know, it's a basic drugstore mascara. As far as like, you know, packaging, weight, all that stuff, but I like the color. She's cute. And that's that. So then I have the Plump Up Gloss Stick for lips. I do have a lip stain and a bullet lipstick from Ulta Beauty, but this is a brand new lip product. And this is something I could not resist. Please tell me the shade is on here because this sticker just came completely off. Nope, it's not. We're gonna stick you right back on. You're not going anywhere, ma'am. Oh, it's in Spicy. So, are you oh, you're a push one. Okay. Okay. Ooh, she is spicy. So that's what it looks like. We're gonna put it on our lips. My lips are extremely chapped right now. But we're gonna try it out. All right, so initial thoughts, it's very wet. It's like almost a lip gloss, but not sticky. And this is a plumping one, but I don't find that it burns. It just kind of feels like my lips are like a little cold from within. It's not even as strong as the one from Tarte that I used the other day. Their Maracuja Lip Plump. So I am going to go get my children dinner, and I'll be back to give you like final thoughts on how this looks, how it wore. Overall, like this is a fine like day of makeup for me. I don't think that I would be like, oh my gosh, I look so hot today, but it's not bad, you know? We're okay. I'll be back. I'm back. So I wanted to go over each of the items one by one and just kind of talk about my thoughts on them now that I've worn them for a few hours. It's not, I don't feel like it's enough to be like a true wear test, but I think it's enough that I've at least gathered my thoughts on first impression. So let's talk first about the things that I've already been using and own. And then we will talk about the new stuff. I think that's everything. All right. So the Flower Pots Blush and Sweet Pea, I really do like these. I do feel like the packaging is a little flimsy and could be a little bit better on these. Like these are a little bit more solid, although I'm sure they probably will break apart too at some point. But overall, I care more about what's inside, and the formula I like, the shades I like. These blush bombs, I really like these. I feel like they're well pigmented. They're not too like sheer, but they do blend out nicely, and I don't feel like they fade right away. And like I said, when I was putting it on, they dry down, and I appreciate that. And then the Light Illusion Foundation, I feel like if you have normal to combo skin, this probably would be a better bet, or maybe dry skin in the summer, maybe oily skin in the winter. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like it's overly flattering for really dry skin. Now, all dry skin, makeup is gonna sit on it differently unless you're well hydrated, but I feel like this is less forgiving and a little bit more finicky. Now let's get into the things that I have more first impressions on. So these, I've used this once or twice before. I like it. I think it's a decent shade for me. I don't feel like it was overly like dark gray or orange. I feel like it does exactly what it's supposed to do. I still don't like the vehicle by which, you know, the product is delivered in these, but I'm not spending, you know, Charlotte Tilbury kind of money on these when I don't really care for the packaging that much, but I still wanted to try them out and see, okay, do I really hate the packaging that much? Misty, 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 I see you. Get your butt down. So I like the contour wand. I can't speak for shade range or options because, you know, I'm super, super pale, but this was a good shade for me being super, super pale. The highlight, I think this is pretty. I think I need more time with it to see how I feel because I topped it, you know, with this highlighter, and that highlighter is really something I wish I skipped out on, but we'll get there. So again, I don't really like the vehicle, you know, I don't really like these sponge tip applicators because I feel like they get really gunky and gross. I do like that it does have an on-off like some of the other ones do. So I appreciate that they didn't skimp out on that. So there's not product constantly leaking, but you know, I do feel like it's pretty. I feel like it blends into the skin nicely and gives just kind of like a glow to the skin without being glittery. Let's see. The concealer, I actually don't hate it. I don't feel like it's overly settled in my lines. It did a little bit here, but I didn't do a very good job of like really setting in the powder. But I also have issues in general with extra wrinkles on this side, and pretty much all concealer will settle in there eventually for me. I feel like it did a pretty decent job at covering up the discoloration on the outside and didn't mess up the color corrector underneath it. So I need more time with it. I don't hate it. The Skin Smoothie Hydro Pop Primer, I actually really like this. It hasn't bothered my skin. It felt nice going on. I feel like it sits pretty nicely underneath the Light Illusion foundation. I do want to try it underneath like some of my tried and true foundations that I love. But so far, this is a yes for me. But again, it's only a first impression, so take that with a grain of salt. The eyeshadow quad, I feel like there are better eyeshadow palettes at the drugstore in the same price range. LA Girl has really good ones. I don't like e.l.f.'s quads. I finally gave up on those. I do like the jalapeno, or hot jalapeno. JCat has really good ones as well. So there are some good ones in a similar price range or even cheaper. And this was not it for me. Now, I do feel like I got a pretty decent look out of this. Like, I don't hate it. I just feel like there's better quality at the drugstore. The mascara, I think I like it. It didn't really clump up a lot, and that's honestly my biggest pet peeve. And it doesn't look like it transferred, so I like it. I feel like my lashes look pretty good. It hasn't melted off, even though it's pretty hot here. So I'm interested to keep using this and see how I like it. The Chrome Crush Pressed Pigments, I think these are really pretty. I do wish they had some other colors. Most of them were like gold or bronze leaning. And then there was like a blue and a green, but they weren't really a blue and a green that I would use. So I'd like to see like maybe a light pink, a purple, something like that. I think they would be really pretty. The Plump Up Gloss Stick, the cool feeling never really went away until I kind of like wiped it off so that I could eat dinner. It did wear off really quickly, but that's to be expected with a more balmy type feel. Like all of these gloss sticks are gonna wear off. Like none of them are gonna set down, which is fine by me because I have very chapped lips and it's a little bit more forgiving when it doesn't set down and dry. You just have to be like a reapplier, or typically for me, when it wears off, I just throw a lip oil on. I'm like, all right, cool. I had, you know, pretty color on my lips for a minute. Now let's put a lip oil on. And I saved the worst for last. This is the Stellar Prismatic Highlighter. Again, this thing is just glitter. And I like glitter, but I don't like glitter like this. Like it just flakes everywhere. It is all over my vanity right now. It was all over me, like my shirt and everything. This is definitely not one I would give to a kid because it would be like constant glitter in their room or wherever they get ready. And I don't find this to be very flattering on my cheeks either. I feel like it just emphasizes every bit of texture that I have. So this one is a hard no for me, although I did enjoy it on the eyes. So that's it for my full face of Flower Beauty. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is there anything that really stood out to you? Have you tried anything else from Flower, especially anything that I've skipped out on? And if so, let me know in the comments what you think. I still have my eye on the bronzer. Like, I can't get it out of my head because I think it's a pretty bronzer. Do I need another bronzer? No. Somebody talk me out of it. Please remind me that I don't need another bronzer. So I really do think that this like color story is very pretty with my blue eyes. So I'm not gonna lie about that. So if you like this video, I hope you'll give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more makeup and beauty content from me, hit that subscribe button and I'll have more coming at you. I hope wherever you are, you have a wonderful day. Bye.